Security is assured, and the citizens will be taken care of. Let's welcome Biafra. The future is bright. It's bright and shining. The future is bright, oh. It's bright and shining. Tata la biafra. Obvious yamike. Tata la biafra. Obvious yamike. In Biafra land, personally, I will commit my future by myself. And by the grace of God Almighty, I shall succeed. He said, shall be a dedication, spirit of love, you come of privilege. Now every that which embodied thee free shall always be our flag of liberty.
Your Biafra House Service coming to you through the auspices of Radio Biafra London. My name remains MAZI Jonathan Chinedu from Olo province of Biafra. Today is the 10th day of June in the year of our Lord 2022, being Friday. I will hand over the platform to the head of the Directorate of Days of the indigenous people of Biafra, MAZI, chika, edoziem. MAZI, over to you, sir.
Good evening, MAZI Jonathan, and thank you so much. Can you hear me, please?
The whole world is hearing you, not only me. Please go on.
Wonderful. Thank you once again, and greetings to great Biafrans. I want to say good night, good morning, good afternoon, and of course, good evening to all of you, depending on your time zone, wherever you may be at this very hour. My name is MAZI Chika Edoziem. I come from Ihe Oma. Ihe Oma is in Olo province of Biafra land. And by the grace of Chukwukika Biama Pumienina, I serve the indigenous people of Biafra under the supreme command of Onye Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and in the Directorate of State as the head of Directorate. Tonight is going to be a continuation of our exposition on the hand behind the violence in Biafra land and in Southeast and Igbo territories specifically. We will expose, as we have done in the past two series, because this exposition, I decided to make it in a series in order not to make it a very long broadcast, but today will be the third series and probably the last one because of other engagements that we will be having going forward. But I want Biafrans to pay attention tonight. Very, very good attention. And not only that, you have to pay attention, you have to bring your common sense. Bring your common sense. And after listening tonight, you may have to go back to the earlier or the first two series of this very of my broadcast on this very topic or issue, that is the violence in the Biafran territory, the violence in Igbo land, the killings and the kidnappings. Who is behind it? Who are behind it? Before I continue, let me remind the world, lovers of freedom, and those who are supportive and those who are sympathetic to our cause, to our genuine cause for freedom and liberty, the cause to extricate the indigenous people of Biafra from the quagmire that we have found ourselves, in fact, the hellhole that is called the Zoological Republic of Nigeria. I want to once again remind wonderful and great Biafran families all over the world that on the 14th and the 15th of this very month, June 2022, all roads must and shall lead to Brussels, the capital of Belgium. On this very date, the Biafran, Amazonian, and Oduduwa Yoruba Nation 1 million man march will take place. These dates are very, very important in the history of these three nations, three emerging nations. Therefore, I encourage you, if you have not yet booked your travel or made your travel arrangements, I encourage you, in fact, enjoin you all, especially IPB family members, to be part of this very historic event, and so that you will tell your children and the generations unborn that you were a part of the nations that brought their matter before the European leadership. So please make your arrangements and ensure that you are there for these two days of this event. The Biafran, Amazonian, and Oduduwa or Yoruba Nation 1 million man march in Brussels, the Belgian capital. I also want to again remind all of us that, this battle is not one that we will, show any sign of fatigue. There is no room for fatigue here. All of us, as I commend those who are working very, very assiduously and very, very committedly in the media department, I also commend those who are in the administrative department of this very movement. I commend those in the medical department. I commend those in our security department, and of course, those who are in the welfare as well. All of us are, adding what needs to be added. We are doing what needs to be done in order to ensure that not only our leader rejoins us, but also that we march ahead with him into a free and sovereign Biafran nation. I'm not forgetting the religious department, of course, because we have reached the stage where the spiritual is now in charge of what we are doing as it concerns the this very, very struggle for liberty and freedom of the indigenous people of Biafra. Now, we are aware, we have been seeing, we have been hearing what transpired a couple, well, let me say last week, I believe, in Owo, on Sunday, if I get it correct, or the Owo Church, Catholic Church massacre. You know why I want to, touch on this once again is because what we in IPOB see, we see it in advance. What will happen, we see it already in advance. And when we come out to inform the world, when we come out to inform our people, when we come out to bring your attention to what is to come, many do not take us serious. Many will think we are being a little bit mischievous, or we are trying to stop people from doing what they want to do. Far from that. That's not the issue here. In as much as we are focused in the pursuit of our freedom as a people, as a nation, as Biafrans, there are things that happen in the zoo that will affect those who are also suffering, as the Biafran people are suffering. And when we get the intel that we get, we try as much as we can to do what? To alert the public, to make it very, very public. And I want to ask people to begin to take these things here, because they are not just, we do not just speak for the sake of speaking. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because when IPOB, when the violence was, very, very, on a very high scale, and the only thought of the deeper life was to carry what? Carry a crusade into Biafra land. This about for that matter. We already knew what was in the offering. We knew. Maybe Kumi did not know. Maybe the deeper life people, I'm not going to lay on accusation on anybody. Maybe they did not know. But we know what will happen if that crusade ever happened or ever took place. We know that there will be, in fact, what happened, will have been a child's play. Oh my goodness. It will have been a child's play, because there you have hundreds, probably, of thousands, or tens of thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of Biafrans gathering in a particular place. This is not just a question of one suicide bomber. The suicide bombing that they will have used to massacre our people there, nothing like that will have, nothing like that. The ear that had it will have fingered, honestly, and then the follow-up machine gun attack that will follow after the bomb blast. This was what we knew. This was what we know. Like the intel of the bombing of the train, Kaduna train that happened, we also knew. The security agencies, they knew. But they will not say anything. They want to use it to do what? To give, to blame the black sheep. They blame IPOB. We knew what was about to happen during the Nigerian Ghana match at MKO Abiola Stadium in Abuja. We knew what was about to happen. And the police knew. The security agencies knew. They did not allow the people. They want to say, in fact, what they did was, they said that IPOB was planning a bomb attack. So we asked the Deeper Life a genuine advice. We advised them that it is not safe to do what, to hold this rally in our land, because this is what is going to happen. And what we got was an unprovoked attack from CAN, the Christian Association of Nigeria. But we give Chukwu Abiyama and the spirit of ancestors, we thank them and give all glory to Chukwu, because without him, we would not be able to have, prevented that terrible massacre that will happen in our land. Now, after a war, where Christians were massacred because they failed to achieve their aim and objective in Biafra land, they took it to another place where also the majority of the victims were Biafrans, but that apart. After a war, the same terrorist herdsmen, in conjunction this time around, in collaboration with ISWA, they descended on Southern Kaduna. Southern Kaduna. I weep for the people in Southern Kaduna. The Christians in Southern Kaduna, I weep for them, and I've been asking myself, why can the people in Southern Kaduna not rise up and defend themselves? Why have they continued to allow themselves to be picked one after the other, like a bird that knows not how to fly? Why can the Southern Kaduna Christians not, put their prayer to action, or support their prayer with action? Self-defense is a human right. Self-defense is a human right. It is a right that is available to a Muslim man as well as to a Christian man. It is a right that is available to a Jewish practitioner as well as to a traditional religionist or an atheist, just somebody who doesn't even believe in anything. Self-defense is a right that is available to a white man, to Caucasians, not called a white man, to Caucasians as well as to the Negroes, to any other, or to the Chinese, to the Asians. Self-defense is available to you, people of South Kaduna. You have a right to defend your land. You have a right to defend your children and your wives. You have a right. Don't continue to answer men while you watch your women and children being massacred. I am speaking tonight directly to the people of the Southern Kaduna. We used to know that when you were in the army, of course, you were part of that. That's not even the issue. We don't care anymore. You were part of the foot soldiers that helped the caliphate to levy the genocide on our people. That is okay. We know that, but we are not going to continue to watch you and keep quiet while you keep mute and allow yourself to be murdered, massacred, your land to be taken over forcefully by the Fulani. I am joining and calling upon the Southern Kaduna youth tonight and their elders as well. You have to stop this madness. You must stop the madness. If you do not wake up tonight, if you do not wake up tomorrow, I can assure you that it will not take long and you will be history. The Christians there will be wiped out. What happened in Turkey will happen in Southern Kaduna, where the majority were Christians, but through a period of constant murder and annihilation, the Christian population became almost non-existent. It will happen, but Chukwu forbid. And I want to believe that tonight, that you people will finally wake up and rise up and say, enough is enough. Enough is enough, in conjunction with the people of Benue State. Your governor has been saying it, and I want to believe he meant it. Therefore, it is left for you, the youths, to make yourself available to your governor, Samuel Otto, so that you can use whatever you have, whether it is gun or whether it is catapult or whether it is machetes or spear and arrow and anything that you can use to defend yourself. Self-defense is your right. And if you also know how to use your traditional way to stop the enemy, what stops you from using that? Don't allow these people to be drinking the blood of your children and wives, and then they will spit on your face and tell you you can do nothing. Don't let that continue to happen. Now, why I am so pissed with the issue of Southern Kaduna is that not only that they are Christians, of course we know that, but the supposed umbrella body that caters and sees to the welfare and well-being and protection, both spiritually and physically, of Christians, the Christian Association of Nigeria. Where are they? Where are they while their chiefs are being slaughtered and massacred? Where are the Christian Association of Nigeria while their chiefs are being scattered and disseminated and in fact, annihilated? Where are they? They will not say nothing. They will not see anything now. But if anything perchance will happen if perchance the victims will begin to resist and a Fulani will be killed, a Muslim Fulani will be killed, you will see the Christian Association of Nigeria, they will come up and start to condemn the killing of a Muslim. That kind of thing. I have never seen anything like that before. But be not, I'm telling the people of Middleburg, do not be distracted by this political organization that call themselves Christian Association. They are not there for you, and they will never be there for you. Your safety is in your own hands, as we, the Biafran people, have taken our own safety in our own hands through the instrumentality of the Eastern Safety Network. Thanks to Okike for Onyendu Martin who set it up at the nick of time. He set it up at the nick of time. Had it been ESN, imagine that. I'm asking Biafrans tonight, and those who even come online and talk trash, imagine the non-existence of ESN. You all will have been toast by now. Real toast. Now, back to Southern Kaduna. What has been introduced into the fray as we speak is very troubling. It is very troubling because the Nigerian government, through these terrorist groups, has introduced a completely unheard of angle into the whole thing. Now they use military helicopters not only to drop the attackers into the target areas, but in fact, I'm not going to say the terrorists now, but the government are using the military helicopters to kill its citizens. If you use a military helicopter to drop a terrorist into an area that they have marked out as a target to be attacked and destroyed, and while the people on the ground, those terrorists are doing that work, you use the same helicopter, which is a Nigerian military helicopter, to do what? To destroy houses and communities. Directly. directly, this is no longer proxy, directly the Nigerian government is part and is in charge of this war against its citizens. The zoo not only is equipping and granting and providing logistics to these terrorist organizations. Now listen to what they are doing more. The zoo Nigeria is now serving as the conduit through which ISWAP and other terror organizations launder the money they use in financing their terror activities in Nigeria and other parts of West Africa. Now, ISWAP means Islamic State of West African Province. That presupposes that they are not only present in the zoo, they are present in other West African countries. So, if Nigeria has become the conduit through which their financial muscle is being transacted, because the government is a government of terrorists, of terrorists, because you have the minister there, the one that they call Akami or whatever, or Panta, I don't know, but I think his name is Patani. This one, his history is there. He is an Al-Qaeda sympathizer. He did not make it even. They are not guiding anything anymore. Now, if the government is, the zoo has become the conduit through which the Islamic State in West Africa province is, making sure that their finances are not endangered in any manner. This then means that Nigeria, knowing about this fact, opposing to it, is actively supporting the exportation of terrorism into other West African nations. They are no longer the Nigerian states that sponsor terror against its people. They have transcended into the Nigerian state that exports terror into other countries. And I begin to wonder, the people that form this organization, the United Nations and the EU and the rest of them, are they simply being mischievous because they don't want to, how do I say it now, ruffle feathers, or they are so blinded by their own national interest that it does no longer matter. Their mouth, they are mounting of fighting terror. Now, when it comes to Nigeria, nobody fights terror anymore. So, you people in the zoo must know that your country is not only, supporting the terror organizations in that land, in that zoo. You can imagine how many terror organizations that are existing in Nigeria now, all of them Fulani based, and all of them have the support of the Nigerian government. They are now also exporting their terror activities into West African countries. And I'm giving you one good example. One good example is Guinea-Bissau. I'm not going to go into detail of what is happening in Guinea-Bissau at the moment, but I can assure you that Nigerian military, Fulani military, they are with Senegal, they are with, I think, Gambia as well, and Niger. All Fulani, they are in Guinea-Bissau at the moment as we speak, trying to prop up a Fulani man that does not even know what it means to be a president of a nation or a country. This is the zoo for you. Now we are aware of all these things. Now we have realized, Biafrans, you have realized what the government is up to. what their agenda is up to. Don't expect in any manner, in any way that the Jew will treat you as they treat the Northerners as far as this issue of balance is concerned. That is the reality. Don't expect that you will, if anybody will listen to you. It is in your hands. It is in your hands to do what? To stand up and defend your motherland, to stand up and defend your honor, to stand up and defend your women, and stand up and defend your children. It is your responsibility as a Biafran youth. It's your responsibility as an Oduduwa youth. It is your responsibility as those in Southern Cabinet and other Middle Belgium. It's the responsibility of all of you and all of us to defend our land against the invaders. We know that our people are arrested in their hundreds. They are arrested in their thousands. We know what we did in Obia. And we know what Ozodinma is doing in Imo. We know also what a Ebony governor, what is his name? David Umar did in Ebony State. The records are with us. We know what they did. Our people were, in fact, the graves of the unknown civilians, this time unknown graves of unknown soldiers, because these people are not competent. These people are civilian people. The graves of unknown graves, the mass graves of our people, that these people that I called, were instrumental to their killing and their dishonorable burials, litters, all that. And these are war crimes. And they should rest assured that their time will come. Those who are responsible for the killing of our people, their time will come. Those of you, therefore, that have ear, let them hear and understand. We have our people who are arrested because they only wear the wonderful colors of the Biafran flag. The elder statesman, the Nollywood veteran, we saw how he was humiliated. How can you humiliate a man for wearing a cloth of his choice? There's no more freedom. There is no more freedom. You cannot speak your mind. You cannot gather. You cannot wear your clothes. Your hairdo is a crime. Idara has been in custody since November. Idara is a young Biafran lady. What did Idara do? She wore a Biafran call. That is the only thing. That's her only crime. And she has been in detention since November, counting. That is why I said we must not expect to be treated like the North have been treated. They wear their Arewa with our Arewa flag and all the same. Nobody bothers them. Nobody will even talk to them. And but you now, when you wear your own, it becomes an issue. That tells you that there is something in you that is very, very that is scary to those who hate you for no reason. There is something in you that makes them, wish that that he never existed. And don't let them succeed by playing into their hand and allowing yourself to be used by these people to commit crime in our land and then label the only stumbling block to their agenda. That is the IPOB and ESN. Label them as the culprits. Don't let them use you. Don't allow.
the Fulani to use you. I'm not going to say Satan now because Satan is not involved in this. It is you who is allowing yourself to be. So I'm asking you tonight, don't allow yourself to be used by the Fulani. We have seen the politicians that they have used and what is becoming of them. Look at them and learn. And the person that doesn't know how to, the smithman or the goldsmith or the blacksmith that doesn't know how to, fashion a corn or ogene as we call it, he will look at the kite or the eagle, or whichever one, and then or hawk or the hawk, and then we learn that this thing is like almost a triangle. So don't let it happen to you before you learn from what has happened to the others. The politicians have spilled your blood. They have spilled our blood because they want to show that they are good boys or they are in good book of the Fulani. But now they are getting. I don't know if many of them expected it, but they are getting their recompense. I'll put it that way. They are getting their recompense. So this young lady and many like her, the other one that IPOB, tried as much as we could to get out of the detention of the DSS. We had her see what happened to her. It's not as if they arrest our young men and our young women and just keep them in detention. No, they abuse them. They use them, in fact, to do things that it's not even good to speak about. The lady said it by herself. She was made a sex slave to the police and the security agencies. And many of our young ladies are passing through this. And it is beholden upon us all, whether you're a woman or you're a man, you're a youth or you're an adult, that you're a Biafran. It is beholden of us to come together and support the only instrument that can protect our land. That is the Eastern Security Network. It is beholden upon all of us to rally around behind IPOB and push our freedom forward. There is no alternative. Ask me what offense those that were arrested in Abuja during the last court case committed. Mama Biafra, for example, she's still in DSS custody. 80 years old woman. 80 years. Is it not a sacrilege? Can you see a Fulani woman, or for that matter, a Fulani woman, 80 years arrested and put in detention for this long? So it cannot happen. Therefore, the person that is hated, you must not hate yourself. Don't allow or help the enemy to subjugate you as he wants to subjugate you. Don't allow yourself to be used to the detriment of your own flesh and your own blood. The soldiers and the terrorists who are actually, the soldiers who are actually terrorists in uniform. They have killed hundreds and thousands of our youths, destroyed our villages. They are what? These people are celebrated. The Boko Haram. They are rehabilitated. They are reintegrated into the Nigerian army and called what? Repentant Boko Haram members, and they will ship them to your land to continue their murderous activities. As I speak to you tonight, the percentage of our people in DSS dungeon and other detention facilities is 3 to 1. 3 to 1. If there are what it means is if there are 4 people in detention in DSS, 3 of them are Igbo or of Biafran descent. Only one will come from another tribe. Can you beat that? Hey, have mercy upon us. If there are 4 people detained in a police station or police custody or military barracks, 3 of them will be of Igbo descent or of Igbo origin or of Biafran descent. Only 1 will be of another tribe if there is even if that even comes to that. If there are only 3 of them will be only what? 3 from Biafra land. So when we know about all these things, and we know that these people, if you asked, what are their offenses? What are their offenses? People who are walking on the street, they will stop and pick them and then put them in the boot of the car or in whatever vehicle they are using, and then off they go. If you're lucky, people may have observed that they were taken, that you were being taken, and then will raise a alert. Actually, will be informed, and then we'll begin to search for them. Otherwise, many have been taken this way without anybody knowing and without anybody doing anything about it. These killings in our land, these kidnappings in our land, these atrocities in Biafra land must cease, must stop. You that is the person that somebody is giving you a job to go and kidnap somebody. When the fire will start to burn on the mountain, that person will not be there. You will only pay with your own head. I am telling you tonight that all of you who have been made instruments of this Nigerian government agenda to cause mayhem in our land and blame IPOB, retrace your steps. Retrace your steps and go back to where you call your village or your community. Don't make yourself available to be used, because the repercussions will not be any palatable. Except you have already made up your mind that, yes, he who kills by the sword, as the Bible says, will die by the sword. It is not me who said it. It is the Bible. Those who believe, those who are Christian, you know it is there. So if you continue to make yourself available, then you have signed your own warrant, your own death warrant. And there's no way, there's no two ways about it. That is why, because you have made yourself available, that is why the Nigerian government and those who hate our national freedom are now hiding under that cover to perpetuate these evils and say that IPOB is responsible, because their main target is to cajole the world community, the international community. They want to cajole them. Those that they can bribe, they will bribe them to do what? To look at IPOB as a violent movement. And then to say that ESN is also a militant outfit that is killing people. That is the agenda. But I know that Chukwuokike will not allow them to succeed, because he that has brought his children out into this very struggle, he will make sure that victory shall be ours and glory shall go unto him. The Nigerian government that is behind these killings, they are happy and they will not want it to stop. So if you make yourself available, they will continue to use you to make that happen. I'm going to give you an example of the NSAS movement, when the whole thing started, and the youth were moving, determined to move, determined to make a demand. What did the Nigerians do? They infiltrated the movement that one was not enough. They sent in the real terrorists in uniform. They massacred their children. The Nigerian government massacred its youth. Its youth that is called the leaders of tomorrow. The leaders of tomorrow. It's funny, honestly. And when you see their political parties, presenting, I don't know whether it's 90-year-old people, 90-year-old as candidates, and outfitted as candidates, you begin to wonder what the hell or heck is wrong with this contraption policy. In fact, the British government, the British establishment, they do not like you. Those of you who have found themselves in the zoo, Britain does not like you at all. They hate you with more than anything else, because they will be the one now that will be telling you to follow the democratic process and the rest of it, and they will not allow a 90-year-old person to come and rule them. But they will give it to you because it is good for you as a black man. It's not good for them because they are Caucasians. The IPOB Biafran movement, the Biafran agitation for freedom and liberty, is a freedom that we are fighting through non-violence. I hasten to repeat this, that this movement is built upon the ideology of non-violence. We are making our way through civil disobedience and not through violence. We have no business with violence. We have no business with attacking civilians, attacking individuals, attacking even the terrorists on our roads. We have no business with this people. Those that we have mapped out to deal with and we have dealt with are those who have now who actually went and occupied our farmland to do what? To stop our people from farming, to stop our people from cultivating their farmland, in order to once again bring back the horror of 1967 to 1970 to us. They want to starve us. They want to make sure we do not cultivate what we eat, and then they will, like they always tell us, that it is the Lord that feed us, my friend. They will now stop anything that may be coming from the north, or anything that will be important, as they always do with the stroke of the pen. You import anything that has to be with nourishment. They will see it and call it contraband. What will you do? You won't do anything because you're in zoo. And you cannot go to your farm to farm because they have taken over your farm. If a woman ventures into that farm and because of no other alternative, she will become a victim. After they will have raped her, they will cut her body to pieces and strew it, scatter it in that farmland or in that community, and tell you, what can you do? If our young men go into the farm, of course, they will use their machetes and cut them into pieces and tell you, what can you do? That is what Onion set up ESF for. And I can assure Biafran that these young men and women, these brave young men and women, they have been doing their work excellently and exceedingly well. That is their objective. That is their area of activity. That is what they were set up to do, not to attack because it is a self-defense situation. If you do not allow us to use our farmland, then it means we cannot fold our hands and allow ourselves and allow the whole Biafran population to be starved. We will not allow 1967 to 1970 to repeat itself, not on the watch of this very generation. It will not repeat itself. It will never again shall we be starved to death as our parents and our people we are starved to death. It will never happen. Therefore, that is the reason our leaders set up the ESN, and that is the reason that these young men and women have made sure that our people cannot go, that they can go to their farms and do their farm work. And this will continue to happen as it is happening as I speak to you this very evening. We must begin to ensure that all hands must be on deck in order to stop these people who have made it a point to do what? A point of duty to commit all manner of crimes in Biafra land, to make they are trying to make our very peaceful environment to be unpeaceful and to be in an anarchy state. But we will not allow it, and that is why I'm asking everybody tonight, make sure that you do not make yourself a tool to the enemy, and when you see anything happening, please, at a safe distance, if possible, if not possible, don't endanger your life. Don't endanger your life. At safe distance, if possible, make sure you get as much information as possible, and inform the IPOB leadership, and then you will do the rest from there. I want to once again call on Biafran people to rally around behind the indigenous people of Biafra, led by Onyendumazi Nnamdi and the Eastern Security Network, so that together we can secure our land and protect our land from the Fulani invaders. I want to ask you all, in fact, this is the wisest thing that you have to do. This is the wisest thing that you have. There's no alternative. Because self-preservation is the first law of nature. Self-preservation is the first law of nature. We as a people, the Biafran people, we must preserve our race from annihilation by the Nigerian Fulani government. We must. It's not that we will. We must preserve our race from total emasculation, total annihilation by the Nigerian Fulani government. Because don't believe any other thing anybody is telling you. The Fulani Nigerian government, they want to, as they said it, their leaders, they say that their objective is to do what? To give their Quran in the Atlantic Ocean. And why they are doing that, they are bringing jihad to you. They will bring jihad to you, and then because you are not a Muslim, what happens to non-Muslims is that you will pay with pay. We will not, we must not allow this to happen, and we must all join hands to protect our land and preserve our roots. If you are being used by politicians or evil people to commit crimes in our land, then know it. Know it tonight that you are working for the Nigerian government to achieve that objective of annihilating your people. You are working for the Nigerian government to achieve that objective of displacing you from your own land, from your own heritage. You are assisting the Nigerian government to turn your land into a land that will be inhabited by the Fulani foreigners they will import, who will come over to take over your heritage, and then those that are left, if any will be left, will now, in fact, lose their identity as a people. I detest, actually, dabbling into this politics. I'm not dabbling into, but we talked about sport. But Biafrans, whether you are in Biafra land, whether you are in Okidowaland, whether you are in Middlebelt, or whether you are in the Arewa North, you must be pay very, very good attention to. And since 1960 up to this moment, it is 62 years to count. And you were always told that your chance or your turn will come in the next election. And then you had hope because you say, okay, it's not done, 4 years, it's the next election will come. And then it will be better. After, when that time comes, they will change the goalposts from where it used to be to another. They move the goalposts. And then you will not relate back to where you were coming from to that very point. So they will now change the goalposts and give you one reason why, and now it's not your time. In fact, your politician will be at the forefront of telling you, no, there's something there is a way that it has to be. Say, that kind of and then the masses will not agree. I won't back maybe now our time will come 62 years and count. And because why I'm saying 62 years and counting is both the military regimes and the civilian, they are all the same. When it will be a turn of an Igbo man or a Biafran that, in fact, an Igbo man now, because it's more centered on Igbo presidents than we are talking about. But it will be the time or fun of the Igbo man to be president. The military will they will do their you. The economy was simply, dropped off over Chito. So it is, these things are not happening as coincidence. I want you to know tonight that it is not a coincidence that you have not been able to mount that position, the highest position of leadership in you. It is not a coincidence. It is choreographed. It is planned. It is an agenda, and it is being followed systematically. 62 years. Now the election fever is coming. It's coming. They have already manipulated the whole thing, and then those, some of them are the politicians, some of them they have shame, some are licking their wounds now. But ask yourself. I'm just throwing a question to the youth of Biafra land and to Igbo youth specifically. They are telling you now it is PVC. That was 4 years ago. They said it is PVC. You must go get PVC. Listen, Atiku last before in 2019, he won the election. Atiku did not bother to do what to actually pursue the whole thing, even when his party people were, pursuing it. He did not want to pursue it. Why? Because they have had their inner Fulani agreement that let your brother finish. You don't go disturb her. Let your brother finish. After him, then it will be your turn. Atiku did not even bother to go and campaign for this PDP primary, but he won. And those who used Biafran money, resources to to finance their desire to be candidate of PDP or APC. There was no road for them. Those who they wanted to give it, now they have given it to them. Obi was smart. He saw it. In fact, he was smart in the sense that he acted like an Igbo man focused. He saw what was coming. he didn't want to go there because if he has stayed in PDP and disgraced himself, there will be no reason for him to go to another party and say he wants to be their president candidate. So he knew what was happening or what will happen, and he left on time and joined the party where he has the opportunity to be their president candidate. But this is not even the problem. The problem is not whether he's going to be a president candidate or not. The issue is now that they're telling you that you must get your PVC, and they are already stopping you from even registering to get the PVC. Oh, hello. I hope people are listening. They are already stopping people. Those of you in Obi himself complain. This is not from me. Obi tweeted it that the information available to him is showing that that things are not, especially in the southeast, that there are some, well, he called it up in that or whatever, and that things are not moving the way they're supposed to move. Now, he's using political terminologies or speaking in a political manner not to hit it hard. I'm going to hit it hard because I'm not a politician. I'm not interested in their politics. What Obi is telling you is that they are deliberately now trying to even stop getting that PVC that you said it's your, what is it, your ticket to salvation. But let's assume, but not consider that you are allowed to get the PVC. Will that assure that your vote will count? Why I'm saying is that I want to let you know that since the beginning of this, from 1950, but since the beginning of election in the zoo, from 50 something up to now, there has never been a free and fair election. Something, going towards, allowing people to some extent exercise their right was what happened during Abilata. But even at that, their primaries itself was money back issue. And that alone, that was a little bit having a semblance of democratic characteristics in it. They did not allow it to start. Did they allow Abiola who won the election? Did they allow him to beat the country? No, they did not, because it is not going to play into their agenda. So I am saying this thing that each and every one of you tonight will use your common sense and make your own conclusions. If you are able to register, which is questionable at this moment, bearing in mind the reports that are happening, taking into account Obi's own complaint, if you're able to even get the PVC, now tell me, will your vote count? I will leave it at that. And for those who are so interested in politics, as for us, the Biafran people, for us, the nation of Biafra, under the supreme leadership of MAZI, our objective is one. And that is the restoration of the kingdom of Biafra on earth. Our objective is one. It is the restoration of the sovereign nation of Biafra. Our objective is one. It is to ensure that the Biafran people live in freedom and liberty in a free and independent Biafran nation. That is our objective, and that alone is of our concern. But those of you who may have the opportunity to sit back and think, those of you who may have the common sense to reflect upon the past, take into account what is happening in this very present situation or this very present time, and be able to project the future. I can tell you categorically tonight that you have one option, not even an alternative, one option. And that option is that you rally round behind the indigenous people of Biafra. That option is that you support the only defensive mechanism allowed to defend our land, defend our honor, defend our women, defend our children, and defend the children and the environment for the children get home. IPOB is your salvation. I am not boasting. I'm not boasting about this because all that we have been doing and all that we have done and all that we will do is not by our own power. It is by the grace of Chukwuabiama. It is by the grace of Him. It is by the combined action and involvement of the spirit of our ancestors and the spirit of God and guide for the land. And having said this, I want to ask all of you tonight again to continue to commit our leader as the country into the hand of God. The enemies are not sleeping. The enemies are not relenting. Everything that they are doing is targeted against our leader. Bear that in mind. If you love MAZI the can, you cannot on the one that gave back to you to commit any crime in Biafra land, and they expect that will not in any manner be used against. If you say you love Onyendu, which we all profess, and which the Biafra people have of course shown without any equivocation that they do love this man, take your hand away from committing any crime in Biafra land. Remove the hand of the monkey from the soup before it turns into the hand of a human being. This is the literal translation of this Hebrew adage into English. I am therefore asking all of you that you must continue to supplicate to Chukwuabiama. Those of you who know how to pray, don't stop because your enemy, they are not stopping. They are doing their what they are known to do continuously, daily and hourly. So we must also not relent. Those of you who are Akajiofo in Biafra land, in Igbo land, in Ibibio land, in Shekri land, in Urobo land, in Akwa Ibom land, those of you that are Akajiofo in Anna, in Anioma, in Okobo, as the case may be, you must call upon the ancestor. That is why you have the authority. You must continue to call upon them on a daily basis, because it is with them that we have gone into this spiritual battle, and they are, on our side. Chukwuabiama is directing our affairs, and of course, Chukwuabiama is doing marvelously. In fact, I can't begin to even to describe his graciousness unto us, his children. If without Chukwuokike, we will have history by now. And without Chukwuokike, I can tell you also that IPOB will have been history. Because the enemy came full force when they took the head away. They thought, scatter the shepherd and take the shepherd away, and then the sheep will be scattered. Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Chukwuabiama is your strength. Chukwuokike is your protection. Chukwuokike is your guide and guidance. And I also tell you, our leader, that he, Chukwuabiama, has been able to keep you instructed. This movement that you put in place, this movement that you set up, it is Chukwuokike that has made it that it stands and standing fully behind you until you rejoin us and until we get there. Therefore, we must not relent. There is no retreat and no surrender in our dictionary. There is no relenting in our vocabulary. We must not show any kind of atom of fear before our enemies, because we have no fear before our enemies. It is Biafra or Biafra or Biafra. Nothing in between. And with that, I want to say that We, those who have not made the arrangements for results on the 14th and 15th, please make that arrangement and just shake or small and let them know that their friends, the Ambazonian and the Udua, the Yorubanis, they have come to establish their nation and to save and salvage their people from the Pagmana and the oppressive and inhuman condition in which the British willingly but without consent modeled us up together. We must break that edifice of evil, that edifice of hell. It has to be broken, and it must be broken. May God keep all of you as you will go and travel to Brussels. Father, I commend all of our people into your hand, those who will come from far and near. I commend them into your hand. Like our people say, they shall go and they shall return. That your name alone, okay, shall be restored, shall be glorified, and your name shall be praised. And of course, we shall, as always, sing unto your name and praise your holy name all the days of our life. Biafra for us is not just a name. Biafra is not just an identity for us. And Biafra for us is not just our heritage. Biafra is our being. Our being that is without Biafra, we are nobody. And therefore, we have chosen to be people, a nation. We have chosen to be people. We have chosen individually to be somebody. That means that Biafra, we must protect it with all that is available to us, with all that Chukwuokike has endowed us with. We must protect Biafra so that our race and our being shall be wiped out of this very, very earth. And may you all be well and kept well in the bosom of Ike. And for me, I want to say to you,